Hi there, this is Marie and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to discuss entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about whether this lifestyle could be a good match for you or not. Of course, the idea of creating your own company and being your own boss is an attractive prospect. And even though I'm the kind of person to just be supportive and saying, just go for it, I know that there are some things that you need to think about before taking this important decision of creating your own business, which is why in this video, I will share with you 5 things that you should consider before creating your own company. First of all, you should know yourself. It's very important when you're considering going freelance, creating your own company, having your own thing, and being your own CEO. It's to know yourself. You have to know how you work, how you can structure your work, and just your personality. Not everyone is made for entrepreneurship, so it's very important to understand yourself better first and see if you have the good qualities to be your own boss. If you're not sure about this, you can talk with your family, your friends, your colleagues or former colleagues, and with all the information, you will have a better picture of the kind of worker that you are. Of course, other people's opinions are secondary. The one that is the most important is yourself, because you're going to know better what kind of mistakes you usually do, what kind of behavior you have in a company, how you react to change and to unexpected situations, how you would react if something really bad happened in the company and you would have to deal with it on your own. You're the one who is going to know how you're going to be. So please take the time to think about this. You have to know if you're going to be able to handle it or not. To give you a little exercise, think about the time where you were a student and there were group projects. What kind of person were you in a group project? Were you the one leading the way and structuring the project? Were you the one just listening and doing your part? Were you the one just sitting back and waiting for other people to figure out things? I think it's a good way to know what kind of person you would be at work, and also you will probably remember whether you were the kind to self-start things or not. The second thing that you should consider is your current situation. You have to assess your current situation and you have to picture what it would be like if you were creating your own company tomorrow, in a week, or in a month. For your project to become a reality, you have to know what are your priorities. The best exercise for this is to just make a list of all the things you think are important and just start from what is the most important for you to what is the least important. And if you're putting things like financial security or job security at the top of your list, well, you might reconsider creating your own company and maybe you should just find another job instead. You have to keep in mind that creating your own company is going to change your whole life for a few months, maybe more, because it can take a lot of time to create your own offer, to find regular clients, and to have a more stable income. So it's important to assess your current situation, see where you can make changes, and what is non-negotiable. The third thing I would like you to consider is to make a business plan. I know it may sound like a lot of work when you're not even sure if you're going to create your company or not, but I personally think that the business plan is just the best way to see if your ideas are good enough, if your business have a chance to work, and you will also be able to calculate quite precisely how much it's going to cost you to create your company on a monthly basis, but also for the first few months where it's probably going to cost you more, and then in the long term. So of course, if you're doing a business plan just for you, you don't need to pressure yourself with making it all perfect and ready to show to investors, for example. But I recommend you to do it as seriously as possible so that you can really have a good idea of how it would be like to create your own company. The fourth thing I would like you to consider is to talk to people who are doing exactly what you want to do. It's important when you're thinking about creating your own company to talk to people who are already freelancers or who created their own business in the field that you would be interested in, and just go and talk to them. It may be people you already know, but most of the time it's not going to be people you know, so you have to look for them on LinkedIn. For example, it's quite easy to find professionals on LinkedIn that are doing what you want, and just send them an invitation with a few words saying why you are contacting them and see what happens. Some are going to ignore you, of course, and some will be happy to speak with you. And I think it's really like this where you can assess whether this kind of lifestyle is made for you or not. If you can feel like you get along well with the people and that you can relate to what they are saying, and it makes you even more enthusiastic to do it, then you know you're on the right path. Also, these people's words are going to help you avoid some mistakes, or they may also answer to questions you had and didn't find any answers online. So it's a key step in the development of your project. And the final thing that I would like you to consider before creating your own company is to hire a coach. Of course, it's not mandatory, but if you thought about your project and you're still feeling unsure, if you feel like you still have questions, maybe it's time to talk to a professional. Nowadays, there are many coaches, consultants, trainers, whatever you call them, that are offering a first call for free to assess your situation and see if you two match well together and if they can really help you in your project. So I think it's a good way to start, because even if in the end you're not buying their services, the fact that you were able to talk about your project with them, it might help you a lot. Actually, I did it when I was in the very early stages of my project. I was still working in a company and I was just wondering more often, what if I create my own company? And I found a freelancer that was also doing coachings in a field that I was interested in. She was offering free calls, so I booked one. And it really helped me a lot to talk to her, even though it was short and in the end I didn't take her training. It was very nice to be talking about it for real and to have a professional tell me what were the weaknesses in my project. It made me see what I needed to think about further. So I really don't regret having this call, and we keep in touch, so I appreciate that too. Which is why for my own coaching services, I'm also doing that. The first call is free. It's a 30 minutes call, so we can discuss about your situation, what I can offer, and whether it would be interesting for me to help you. So you can send me a message at this email address. I will also put my professional website link in the description of the video. I'm helping professionals and job seekers to find their next opportunity. I'm also helping people in reconversion. And finally, I'm also helping aspiring authors. So if you think that you might be interested, feel free to book a free call and we can talk about it together. This is all for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, as always, feel free to put it in the comments. Also, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. As a bit of additional info, I'm going to put subtitles on the videos now, so you will have English and French subtitles. So if you think it might help you, don't hesitate to put them on. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!